Miriam, long time no see. If you can talk, I have something I'd like to ask you about, so please get back to me soon. I really hope that you haven't gone and blocked my number either.
I forgot to block your number, it seems, actually. You did vanish from my sight almost instantly back then, and never once said anything else to me since.
I'm sorry about what happened 2 years ago, all right? I'm sure you're not going to forgive me, though, for what happened then, considering that you were my fiancé, and right before our wedding, I left you for her.
If you understand that I'm never going to forgive you for such a thing, then why are you wanting to talk with me now? It was you both who didn't only run away from me, but have been actively avoiding me, right?
But I made sure to pay for what I had to.
You sure did. It took you more than 6 months to do that for me, though. So what the heck do you want from me now?
I actually have something to ask from you.
Something to ask from me? I thought you just wanted to talk.
I shouldn't bother beating around the bush about it, so I'm going to be extremely blunt with this. I would like you to give me back that money I paid you in the settlement from back then.
Excuse me? The settlement money?
I'm talking about the money you were given by my girlfriend and I.
What are you going on about? A settlement is something you owed me back then, and that's why you both paid it. You think you're getting your money back after what you've done?
But I need that money right now.
Let me ask, what for?
Recently, she's really been wanting me to get her more and more things. I want this, I want that. Over and over again, she's wanting me to get things for her, and to be honest, I don't really have any money left in my savings.
Wait, you're asking me something as ridiculous as getting that settlement back from me because you've been buying her everything she's been asking you to buy for her like a selfish brat? You actually thought asking me something like that would be sane? Or are you messing around with me right now? Because no way in hell can anyone in their right mind be asking the victim they paid a settlement to for that settlement back, right?
You think I'd be messing around with you about this right now? I'm very serious.
Clearly not serious enough, then. Because that seems like a you problem, and should have nothing to do with your ex, of all people. I don't care about what trouble you're in now, and I sure as hell won't be giving you any money back.
Why not? Are you saying it's okay if I have to get into a lot of debt?
Sure am, actually. Because I don't care about you anymore. If you're looking for some advice or something out of me, I can tell you one thing. If you don't want to spend any more money, stop buying her all the things she begs you for.
I can't do that. I have to keep on buying her these things or else she's gonna stop loving me.
That's really pathetic.
Recently, she's been acting very suspicious. I'm not 100% sure there's really something going on with her, but she might be realizing that I'm running out of money and is looking for another guy to treat her now.
And? What does any of that have to do with me right now, Philip?
Please, just help me. I'm just asking you to give me that settlement money back that I paid you last year.
Even if I were to give you this money, she'd still be wanting more than what you could afford for her with it. In other words, you'll only be delaying the inevitable with her.
I want to use the money from that settlement to get her an engagement ring, and then I'll be able to marry her.
Marrying her isn't going to fix all of those problems you have with her right now, you know.
I just need that money from you right now.
And what will happen next? You'll come back to me again because you won't be able to pay for your wedding. And then you'll ask me to give you back the money that you gave me to pay for your half of that wedding you canceled, right?
I always thought it was wild that I was the only one having to pay anything when I left you.
Sorry to burst your bubble here, but what you did to me 2 years ago was all your fault. And that goes for everything that happened afterwards as well. And since then, things have changed pretty drastically for me as well, which means that I no longer have the time to worry about a backstabbing couple like you two. You both figure out what to do there. Bye-bye.
You're not gonna help me out here? Even with me asking you like this? That's what it was, Miriam. That's what it was about you that made you so freaking ugly and why I ended up throwing you away.
Excuse me, but I just saw you and you straight up ignored me. After all this time not seeing one another, have you grown more sassy or something? I'm trying to talk with you right now about the way you're behaving, and I want to talk right now. Are you not embarrassed to be ignoring me? Hello? Are you coming to me? Would you stop that? We aren't close to one another anymore, so you can stop trying to text me like I still care. Are you still upset about what happened 2 years ago, Miriam? This isn't about me being upset about that anymore. I understand that what happened back then is now in the past and nothing can be done to change it. Then you need to stop treating me like a complete stranger for coming out and stealing your fiancé from you last minute like that. Why do you think it's fair to act all tough like that? I really do not get you. You and I are still working within the same company and same office building. So how about you and I go get lunch together tomorrow? I get that I'm a temporary employee and all still, and that you're working full-time for the company, but that doesn't mean you can't come out to lunch with me together, right? And since you're the employee of this company, you'll pay for my meal as well, right? Not going with you. Why the hell not? Because you are a stranger to me, and I sure as hell don't feed temporary workers like you. It's not like we're even in the same department either, right? After what you did to me, I kind of forgot you even worked for the same company as me. By the way, when was it that you started working in the same office building as me again? 3 months ago. I was transferred here after the company said that they needed extra help in one of the departments. So you've been under the same roof as me for 3 months yet? Being a temporary worker, I don't make as much as you, right? So pay for my lunch at least. Especially since you and I had past relations with one another. How about you ask your boyfriend Philip for money? Recently, he hasn't been giving me as much money, though. I thought him being a software engineer meant he'd be making all sorts of money. When all he's done is screw around on the job, there's no way he's ever going to receive a raise. I'm aware of that now. That's why recently I've started to realize that he can no longer act as my wallet anymore. If you'd like him, I'll give him back to you. If anything, it would only be right for me to give him back to you now. I don't need him. From the bottom of my heart, I don't ever want to see him again. I'm looking for a new man who can supply me with the money I need, and since I don't have a use for Philip anymore, I thought you might want him back. That's right. Listen to this. I actually already have a new boyfriend. Don't care, never will, and if you do ever run into me at the office, let's both work to avoid one another for the rest of the time. Please and thank you. Before we think about that, ask me about my loaded boyfriend, please. No, thank you. Right now, he's running his own company, even though he's only 34 years old. He's always giving me all kinds of presents, and just a little while ago, he actually confessed his love to me, which I said okay to, which means I'm now going to be rich when I'm married to him. Thank God you're happy about cheating on Philip. I never thought that after all I'd been through, I'd now get to marry a man of so much money. I really do feel very lucky and blessed now. I really feel bad for you now, though. Feel bad for me about what? You had your man stolen from you by me right before your guys' wedding, and things never got any more serious between him and I, and after only 2 years, I got myself a new man, leaving me the only one becoming rich after I get married. One thing I'd like to ask before I block you, are you actually cheating on Philip then, or did you guys already break up? I was talking to him about 2 weeks ago, and he told me you guys were still a thing. Has he been trying to get back with you or something now? I'm dying over here. He and I are still going out with one another right now. I'm just milking him dry of whatever money I can before I dump him. So until he can no longer afford to get what I ask for, I'm going to hold on to him like he's my coin purse or something. Are you aware of how much of a bitch you sound like right now? I'm aware that I am a genius that can get whatever thing she wants from any man, and I am very much aware that Philip doesn't want me to leave him. If he doesn't have any more money for me, then I'm not interested anymore. I have no other choice but to dump him soon, right? You really haven't changed these past 2 years then. Well, I'd like for things to stay the same way they've been so far, with you and I not talking to one another. What are you talking about? By the way, have you even found yourself a new man yet? Do we have time to talk about this? Like, seriously, I do not care about you at all and would rather waste my time doing something that brings me joy than on someone who is a complete lost cause. Don't worry, this time I'm gonna be a good person and not steal them from you. After all, I'm the one with a promise seat next to a company owner now with loads of money. He's not only tall, but has at least $3 million in one of his savings accounts alone, and has gone to all the best schools. He's also really kind to me, and the kind of man I never thought I'd be getting married to, yet here I am. You said the same thing about Philip 2 years ago, though. Did I really? You sure did. You told me that he was not only tall and handsome, but he was a software engineer with a lot of money he could spend on you and a perfect education. And the kind of guy that I should be happy you were stealing from me and should have been thanking you for, right? You don't remember any of that? I might have said something like that. Wow, it's been so long. But this time I know my new man will be getting married to me and will never be able to say no to any of my wishes. So even if you have or don't have a man right now, I'm not going to steal him from you so you can relax. Now let's go out to lunch together. I'm sure you don't have any friends working here that you can talk with all the time and are lonely, right? I have work to do, which means I don't have time to go out to lunch with those not associated with my department. Therefore, please take yourself out to lunch and enjoy something you can afford with your own money. That's it from me now. I'll be coming to your department tomorrow around lunch. Please keep your wallet out for me when I get there. Listen to this, Miriam. I saw a really fancy brand bag sitting on the desk of my man in his office, and when I took a sneak peek inside, I saw a little box. That has to be the engagement ring. The engagement ring he plans to give to me when he proposes. Congrats, be happy or something. Goodbye forever now. You hold it right there, Miriam. I plan on inviting you to our wedding now, so please make sure you save the date so that you can be there. Why? I want to see you when you're all frustrated and upset there, and I want to show you myself as I become the wife of the CEO. Then that will only make you more frustrated and annoyed to the point you'll cry and I can laugh at you. I really do not care about you getting married, nor do I care about whatever man you plan on getting married to now. What are you talking about right now? You know the CEO who I'm getting married to very well. I do? I'm going to become the wife of the CEO you work for, right? I'm going to get married to him now so you can have Philip back if you want. The CEO here is my husband, Frankie. What? He's your husband? What, huh? I'm saying that the CEO I'm currently working for also happens to be my husband of 6 months now. Him and I are newlyweds, actually. So that wife of a CEO you've always been calling yourself happens to really be me. What are you going on about? If that's your version of a joke, it's really boring. Well, thankfully it's not a joke. But neither of you have a wedding ring on right now, and he happens to be my boyfriend. I'm not sure what led you to believe something like that's the case, but the reason he and I aren't wearing our wedding rings right now is because we haven't found bands that we like yet. You're lying, right? I can't believe that. There's no way someone like you could be married to the CEO of this company. When I was talking to him about a Frankie, he told me he'd never heard of you or anything and that you must be mistaken. You said he's your boyfriend right now? Did you ever talk to him about being his girlfriend? You were also talking about how he'd confessed to you, or you to him, I forgot. But one of you said okay, right? That's right! I told him my feelings for him and he said he loved me back, and I said okay. When exactly was that again? 1 month ago from today. I heard about how my manager would be going out with the CEO for drinks after work, and I asked if I could please go along with them. And that's when he said yes to me and that he'd love to have me come along, so I said okay. Are you sure he wasn't just saying okay to you going out to drinks with them that night? What? And if you were asking him anything while out drinking that night, he might have been thinking you were joking or something. Because nobody would ever ask a married man if they could actually go out like that, and maybe he just thought you were talking about getting more drinks and he loved the idea of doing that. He's always been a pretty heavy drinker when it comes to after-work drinking, and so he might not remember you because of that. But what he's told me is that there was this one girl that kind of forced herself to come along with him and some other men, and that she didn't seem to be asking him anything serious that night. Are you saying that he misunderstood what I was talking about? He probably just thought you were either joking or that you were talking about your love for alcohol or something, which makes sense based off the setting and timing. Remember that my husband doesn't even know your name. Even though his eyes and mine are always meeting a lot at work? Just your imagination, right? But he introduced himself to me when we first went out for drinks. He was probably introducing himself to everyone at that table then. And what about the ring in that box on his desk? He told me that's the present he got me for my birthday. And it's not a ring in that box, but a necklace, he said. So I'm not going to become the wife of a CEO now? By the way, Frankie, how did you find out that there was a bag like that on his desk in the first place? His room is on the top floor of this building, and you can't get up there without an appointment, right? I'm the CEO's soon-to-be wife, so I'm allowed up there. His room should be the both of ours' room. But that was just a massive misunderstanding on your part, right? He's gone and told everyone up there not to let you on that floor anymore. I can't believe this is happening. I'm the one that's supposed to be his wife.
I can't get in touch with Frankie anymore. I made plans with her to have a date today, and she's stood me up. She entered the same office building as you a while back, right? Go and find her for me.
Why are you trying to get me wrapped up in all your problems? I don't care where she is right now, and I'm not going to search for her.
Why not? You meet with her every day there during the week, right?
She's not even working here anymore.
What? What did you just say?
An issue arose for her 3 days ago, and that led to her leaving the company for good as a temporary worker. Then the department that hired her came to the CEO and apologized for hiring someone as hopeless as her because she'd caused a lot of trouble for us here.
Wait, an issue arose there? What do you mean? What kind of issue did she cause?
She fell in love with the CEO of this company, and then she started to think that the present that the CEO got for his wife's birthday was hers and took it from him. She went into his office and took it without the CEO's permission.
Wait a second, she's planning to jump to another man, is what you're saying? With the CEO of your company?
You noticed something was going on with her, right? You knew she was starting to lose interest in you.
And that's why I went into debt, buying her a very expensive ring. I was gonna hand that to her today at our date, but now I can't get in touch with her anymore.
She is sometimes coming around the office building, waiting out front, so you might be able to catch her there. She still has a thing for the CEO, I think. And may have been saying she's hanging out in front of the office building, waiting for the chance to run into him when he leaves.
No way. I was serious about actually getting married to her soon. Yet now she's gone and stood me up today and is trying to get with another man besides me? She's the worst.
Are you aware that what you're saying about her is kind of the same thing you did to me years ago?
Where is your office building at? You're still at the same place, right? I'm going there right now. I'm gonna make her pay for everything she's done to me these past 2 years.
Go right ahead, man. You're the one that leaked where I was at to Philip, right? He told me to give him back all the money he'd spent on me, and he told me to pay him back for the settlement he paid to you for what I'd done. He won't shut up about any of it now. Maybe he was able to find you because you never pissed off and were trying to wait outside the offices for the CEO to come out. He was your fiancé at one point, so you do something about him. He's your boyfriend, so how about you do something instead of asking me to? Excuse me? I have been fired from the company and have not been able to see my man at all. He's in the office building right now, isn't he? That's where you're wrong, actually. Today he told everyone to take the day off and closed the office building last night, so there's nobody there right now. But if you continue to bang on the entrance and stand out there all day, he said he'd call the police on you after having security come and handcuff you. Then he'll have his lawyers move against you in order to get a restraining order made that will legally keep you away from him and the building as a whole. Right now, you're just an ex-temporary employee, but you will become so much more if you push things. Okay, but why did I have to be fired from my position inside the company? Because you went into the CEO's office without anyone's permission and then went through his things and took the present he had for me. That's a good enough reason to have you laid off. He said that you can keep the necklace if you want, because he's going to get me something else now anyway. But he'd like you to at least pay him for the necklace you stole. But this is supposed to be the present he was giving to me because I should be the CEO's wife, right? So you really don't see how all the things that keep coming out of your mouth are completely irrational and kind of insane? I can tell you're too far gone now for this conversation to get anywhere, so I am ending this conversation here. What do you mean? I'm going to talk with the police right now and have them file a criminal charge against you for trying to harass myself and my husband. Then, when you're taken into custody and have to go to court, my husband and I will sue you for damages you caused, and you'll have to pay that settlement to us both as well. What? Are you serious? Not only am I serious, but because you're not able to comprehend a thing I say to you anymore, I'm having the law take care of you for me. I'm already having to deal with Philip wanting money from me now, though. And that's because of another problem you made with him. So consider all of this you getting what you deserve for being a completely mental monster. Hold on a second. I just wanted to marry a man with a lot of money who could make me rich. Stop trying to hurt other people just for money. But you're the one who's actually married into money, right? How about you stop hurting your husband for that money? I didn't marry him for his money. I married him because I love him, and I'm still working even though he's my husband, and I plan to continue working until I'm ready to retire. And when the time does come for us to make a family, I want to use my own money while I have time off work and not have to rely on a single penny of his. The only thing I will ever ask him for money for is this lawyer we'll be using to take you down. I get it! Then let's just forget about all of this. I'm talking about everything. Let's all act like none of this ever took place. I'll even go all the way back home to my parents' place if that's what you want. That should be good enough for you, right? Too late for that now. There's now a stain on this earth that didn't want to come off when they had the chance, so now the water will no longer work on them and we'll have to try something stronger. Then what the hell should I be doing to get myself out of this? Even if I try to make things right with Philip again, he's so mad with me now, he won't listen to a word I say. Stop it with that childish BS, please. You really think this world revolves around a crap stain like you? I recommend you turn your crap around and start living like the rest of us adults. Now, you wait for the lawyer to get in touch with you later, please. Wait, please! You and I are friends, right? We're both in our 30s now, which means we can just laugh all this off, right? At the very least, introduce me to someone with a lot of money. After that, Frankie wasn't able to get Philip to love her again, and things ended right then and there. And soon after, Philip took her to court and forced her to pay him back for all the money he had spent on her, as well as for her part of the settlement to me he'd paid. My husband and I also went and took her to court for not only the damages she'd caused by harassing us, but also for that necklace she'd taken from my husband. She was also given a restraining order from my husband, meaning she could no longer come within 500 feet of him, and was also told she couldn't come onto the company's property or else she would be detained and taken to court again to be fined. With no money at all, nor a chance of finding another man anytime soon, she retreated to her parents' house, where she was met with folded arms. Today there are some rumors going around about her having moved far away to some really small apartment, where she's now trying to work and save up some money again to pay off all her debt. Okay, I have been dying to hear all about your vacation, so you had better tell me all the juicy details. I want to know what you did, where you did it, when you did it, and most importantly of all, did he finally propose to you? Hurry up and text me back. I'm dying over here. Well, wait no more. Yes, he proposed, and I can't wait to show you my ring. It's positively gorgeous. We went out to dinner at the fantastic restaurant. They had some of the best Italian food I'd ever eaten. Then we took a little walk through the park, went back to our hotel room, and when I got out of the bathroom, there he was, down on one knee. Oh my God! That is like the most romantic thing I've ever heard. He proposed to you during a vacation he took you on for the 5th anniversary of your first date. Not only that, he took you to a super nice hotel. I'm so jealous of you, Ashley. I would kill to have a man propose to me like that. Rihanna, I can't even begin to describe how incredible the whole day was. It was the happiest day of my life. I don't know how I'll ever be able to top this. I guess that boyfriend, fiancé of yours is gonna have his work cut out for him then if he wants to keep you happy. All right, next order of business. Tell me about the ring. How big is it? Where did he buy it from? Was it something simple, like from Tiffany's or maybe Cartier? Oh, did he maybe go for a Harry Winston ring? I've been looking through their catalog lately. They have some incredible new models this season. Whoa, slow down there, Rihanna. Harry Winston, that's a bit too much for normal people like us. He just got me something simple from a local jewelry store. I don't even know what the name of the brand is. Aw, really? Oh, what a letdown. I mean, this is your engagement ring we're talking about. He's asking you to be his for the rest of your life, and he didn't even get you a decent engagement ring? Well, it may not be from some fancy brand, but I think it's absolutely perfect. Justin picked out the design himself and even had a few special customizations done to it. He's been meeting with the jeweler for a few months now to talk about the ring, picking out the model for the band, the size of the stones, all that stuff. I'm so happy to receive something that he put so much work into. It really means so much to me. Wait, are you joking right now? Back up for a second. Did you say that Justin designed the ring, like, by himself? In other words, he gave you a ring designed by an amateur? And he didn't even hire a consultant from a half-decent firm to help him make a half-decent design? Oh my God, Ashley. How can you be happy to get a piece of junk like that? I wouldn't really call it a piece of junk. It's my engagement ring. Good grief. I had no idea your boyfriend had such awful taste. What a complete loser. Like, seriously, what's his problem? Where did you find that guy anyway? What kind of idiot thinks it's a good idea to give the woman he wants to marry some kind of homemade piece of trash excuse for an engagement ring? Rihanna, hey, now that's going way too far. You can't talk about my fiancé like that. You have no idea how hard he worked for this. Not just on the design, he saved up money for a long time to be able to buy this for me. Listen, Ashley, it's clear you don't know, so let me explain to you how this is supposed to work. The rule for engagement rings is very, very simple. When you propose, you give the girl a ring that's worth 3 months of your salary at least. Anything less is just insulting. Frankly, I would turn any man down who spent less than 3 years worth of his salary on my wedding ring. 3 years? Are you serious? Yeah, that's what men are supposed to do when they propose. They have to show her how committed they are to supporting her. I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with this guy, right? He can do a measly 3 years of work for me in return, and if he can't, what good is he? Why even keep him around? Honestly, Ashley, hearing what you just said about your ring makes me really, really concerned about your future with Justin. I just don't think he cares enough about you. Wait, you turned him down, didn't you? Oh God, don't tell me you actually said yes. No, of course I said yes. What else was I gonna say? The way he looked at me when he said the words, Ashley, will you marry me? I just can't get the image out of my head. I could tell by the look in his eyes how much he cared about me. No, Ashley, what were you thinking? You must be out of your mind. You actually said yes? What am I gonna do with you, sweetie? Any man who would slap some metal and rocks together and call it a day would never deserve you. If he really cared for you, he would have bought you a decent ring. You have to call him up right now and tell him you changed your mind. If you actually go through with marrying him, your life will be over. You'll be stuck with him. There's no one on earth I'd rather be stuck with than Justin. He's wonderful. We might have some difficulties ahead of us in our future, but I'm sure that if we just stay together, we'll be able to get through anything. Girly. Did you have a little too much to drink on the airplane? Are you listening to yourself right now? I'm your best friend, Ashley. There's no one in the world who knows you as well as I do. And as your best friend, I am telling you that you're never gonna be happy if you get married to that broke loser Justin. Like, what is his job anyway? Is he just some average middle manager type? Well, I guess you could say that's true right now, but he has big plans for the future. Oh, I have no doubt. He has a super big dream of hitting it big after working his way up the corporate ladder. But that's all it's ever gonna be, Ashley, a dream that never comes true. If he doesn't even have the ambition to buy you a respectable engagement ring, there's no way he has the kind of ambition he'll need to have in order to work his way up through the ranks. Tell you what, baby girl, I've got some good connections. I can hook you up with a handsome guy making 10 times as much as your broke loser boyfriend does. You can marry him and live like a princess. So go right now, call your boyfriend, tell him you changed your mind, throw his plastic ring into the trash, and come by my house, okay? I'm not gonna tell you again, Rihanna, do not talk about my fiancé like that. What is it with you and money? I'm not getting married to his bank account, I'm getting married to him as a man. I love Justin, and I will always love Justin. Even if he went completely bankrupt tomorrow, I would still marry him. So please, Rihanna, I don't want to damage our friendship. Please don't talk about Justin like that anymore, okay? I don't believe you, Ashley. You're gonna ignore the earnest advice of your best friend? You're gonna choose a broke loser guy over me? All I'm telling you is the truth. It's not my fault that reality is painful for you. You've got some nerve to brush me off like this after all we've been through together. Look, Rihanna, I understand getting married is a very big moment, and you're naturally concerned about whether or not I'm making the right choice. But I'm telling you, I know that I made the right choice. I know that Justin is the right man for me. You need to respect my choice, Rihanna. If you keep talking about my fiancé like that, then I don't think this friendship is going to work out anymore. You have got to be kidding me. You're really going to go through with marrying that scumbag? If that's what you want, then fine. Go ahead. Do whatever you want. Throw your life away. I don't care anymore. Enjoy your life in subsidized housing with your precious little Justin, Ashley. Goodbye. Rihanna, where are you right now? I asked the venue staff and they said that you hadn't arrived yet. The wedding's gonna start really soon. Are you stuck in traffic? If you need just a few more minutes, I can probably delay the start of the ceremony a little bit. Huh? Oh, your wedding, right. Sorry, I kinda overslept today and never had a chance to shoot you a message. You overslept? Well, I guess that's not so much of a surprise considering it's you. All right, well, if you're just getting up now, then you're probably not gonna be here in time for the wedding then. Well, I'll go and talk to the coordinator about whether or not we can delay the service for just a little bit. Maybe we can have them change around the order of events to make sure you don't miss any of the important parts. Don't worry, though. We're not mad at you or anything. We're really excited for you to come. Yeah. Nah, that's cool. You don't have to wait up for me. I'm not coming. So, you can give my food to someone else, or you can just take it home in a doggy bag to save money. Rihanna, what are you saying? What's going on? Wasn't I clear? It's just like I said, I am not coming to your wedding. I have no interest in seeing you two tie the knot. Got it? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go back to bed now. Rihanna, wait, I don't understand. You're not gonna come to my wedding? But Rihanna, you're my best friend. You were supposed to give one of the speeches at the reception. Why aren't you coming? You owe me an explanation for this, Rihanna. Speech? Oh, yeah. Now that I think about it, you did ask me to do that, didn't you? Well, you're gonna have to find someone else to do it because I don't have a speech prepared and I'm not even your best friend anymore. So, yeah, get one of your other friends to do it. I'll pass. What do you mean we're not best friends anymore? We've been together since we were in elementary school. We went to the same middle and high school too. Even after we went to college and graduated, we still see each other all the time. I always thought we were going to be best friends forever. Yeah, well, you thought wrong. I don't ever want to be your friend again. I'm kind of embarrassed I was ever your friend to begin with. I guess I just grew tired of hanging around with a poor girl like you. What? Don't get me wrong, I am sad about losing you, Ashley. Most people get kind of overwhelmed when they figure out how rich my parents are and stop hanging out with me, but you were never bothered by it. Like, for real, you're just about the only real friend I ever had. I don't know, all the other girls in our class always felt like they were from another universe, but you and I always seemed to get along for some reason. But if that's true, then why aren't you coming to my wedding? Why don't you want to be my friend anymore? I felt the same way as you did. You and I always had a certain special sort of connection. I didn't care that your family was rich. Actually, I always thought it was fascinating to see the differences in lifestyle, values, and all that stuff between your family and mine. you're the best friend I've ever had, Rihanna. Uh-huh, is that right? Well, then maybe you should have listened to my advice and broken up with that broke loser Justin. The fact that we're not friends anymore is 100% your fault. It's my fault. Not only did I do you the favor of warning you of what a terrible choice you were about to make, I even offered to help you find a real man who would be able to support you like you deserve. But you ignored all my pleas and went forward with your death wish of a marriage. Is that why you're canceling on me last minute? It's just because you don't think Justin is good enough for me? Who I marry is my choice, Rihanna, not yours. I thought you would respect that. How could I respect something that's not respectable? Besides, you know me better than anyone else. You should have seen this coming from a mile away. I never thought you'd do something like this, though. And, I mean, isn't this the guy that basically gave you a plastic ring from a Cracker Jack box? If he has that poor taste in jewelry, then how could he possibly plan a wedding that's worth my time? I'm not interested in going to some simple wedding full of middle-class people. It's beneath me. So like I said, I'm not coming today, and don't wait up for me. Well, I guess you really don't like Justin, do you? Let me ask you a question, though. What if Justin wasn't a broke loser, like you say he is? What if he was rich as your family? Then would you come to my wedding? Yeah, sure. If he's rich enough to throw a wedding that would look good on my Instagram feed, then sure I'd go. I might have to rethink my opinion of you, too. I'd even consider allowing you to stay my friend. I see. It really is too bad, though, Ashley. I thought better of you than this. Even after being my friend for all of these years, you were so willing to throw it all away. All over some deadbeat guy. I can't believe you had such poor taste in men. I also have my status to consider, you know. If I were seen giving a speech at a wedding like yours, I'd be a laughingstock. All the other people in our gated community would see me as the girl who could only make friends with, well, someone like you. I thought better of you too, Rihanna. I never thought this is how our long friendship would end. But you can have it your way. We're not friends anymore. You don't have to tell me twice. I don't want to spend any more time with a tasteless, classless girl like you. I bet you were looking forward to receiving a good gift from me to pay for the wedding, but you'll just have to take out a loan or something because I'm not coming. That's fine by me. We don't want you or need you to come. Yeah, right. One of these days, you'll come to regret throwing away our friendship because you decided to marry some broke loser. You want to talk about regret? I think you're going to regret not coming to my wedding very, very soon. I also think you're going to regret calling Justin a broke loser, too. It's not a very good idea to insult one of your dad's company's biggest clients. Huh? Goodbye, Rihanna. The wedding's about to start. I'm going to have the happiest day of my life, with or without you. Actually, you know what? I think it'll be a much more pleasant day without a stuck-up jerk like you around. Hold on, just one second, Ashley. Insult one of your dad's clients? Just what is that supposed to mean? Does Justin have some kind of relationship with my dad's company? No time to talk, Rihanna. I gotta go. The wedding is starting. I don't have the time to be chatting with someone who isn't even my friend anymore. Goodbye. Ashley, are you there? Look, I'm on my way to the wedding right now, okay? So keep my seat open, got it? Oh, and I also went by the bank. I'm gonna give you guys a huge present for your wedding. It's gonna blow you away. So please let me inside. I was just about to change my dress for the reception. What do you want now? I thought you weren't interested in coming. I take everything back, all of it. I really want to go to your wedding. I'm more excited than I've ever been in my whole life. I have to come to your wedding, literally. My mom and dad are super mad at me. If I don't go to your wedding, who knows what they're gonna do to me? Wow, your parents got that mad at you? I've never seen them upset before. They've always been some of the calmest, kindest people I've ever met. They didn't even get mad at me when I accidentally poked a hole in your sofa back when I was 10. Yeah, well, if you saw the look they gave me, you'd know exactly why I'm so terrified right now. Dad went out of his way to do a video call just to make sure I got the point. First, he texted me and asked why I wasn't there. I told him that I had canceled on you, and that it's because you ignored my warnings and got married to a broke loser. And then he immediately did a video call, and he looked like fire was about to shoot out of his eyes. He told me that if I didn't get over there right now, he'd come straight back home, hog-tie me, and drag me there himself. He threatened to hog-tie you? Wait, he knows how to do that? Seriously though, I can't imagine your dad being angry enough to bring out a threat like that. Yeah, I couldn't believe it either, but he was dead serious. I've never seen him get this mad before. Neither him nor my mom have ever gotten angry at me for anything I've ever done. Well, it was the wedding of the son of one of their biggest clients. Canceling on something like that at the last minute? That's a big no-no in the business world. Plus, your reason for flaking out was, well, in a word, ridiculous. I guess it's hard to see how your dad wouldn't get angry in that situation. I never knew that Justin really did have a major connection to my dad's company. Plus, apparently my mom and his mom have been friends since they were in grade school. So I have to deal with a lecture from both my dad and my mom now. Oh, this is the worst. Wow, really? I never knew that. So Justin's mom knew your mom? Oh, crazy. What a small world. And you've been hiding things from me too, haven't you? You told me Justin was just some ordinary middle manager type. You never told me who he really was, or more importantly, who his dad really was. How could you keep all that information from me? You lied to me. Lie? Oh, that's nonsense. I never lied to you. I told you he's an ordinary middle manager type now, because he is an ordinary middle manager type now. That wasn't a lie. As for him being the son of your dad's client, you never asked, so I never had any reason to bring it up. Don't you think you could have at least mentioned that? Seems like a pretty important detail for me to know. Well, if you're really interested in knowing about him, I can tell you more right now. Justin actually comes from a family similar to yours, with his dad running a major company. That was always kind of a sore point for Justin, though. He didn't want to simply be handed the reins to his dad's company without proving himself first. He wanted to prove to his dad and the world that he was a perfectly capable businessman in his own right. So he did just that. He went to school normally and started life on his own normally without ever throwing his family name or his dad's company name around. That's part of the reason I never talked to you about his family. I wanted to respect his wishes. That doesn't make any sense at all. He didn't want to take advantage of his family's wealth and influence? What is he, some kind of moron? I've been sailing through life on easy mode by taking advantage of my parents. Yeah, Justin and you have very different personalities, I know. Not even most of Justin's best guy friends know the truth about who his parents are. He actually sort of fibbed in his interview for the company he works for right now. They recognized his last name and asked him if his parents were who they thought they were, but all he said was, "That's a pretty common last name, isn't it?" So he climbed through the ranks at the company like any other person would. He finally did what he sought out to do. He proved that he could make it on his own. And, well, he's actually going to make this announcement later on tonight, but pretty soon he's going to officially take over running the company for his dad. What? You mean he's going to be running the company his dad runs? The one that's a major client of my dad's company? But that means that Justin is going to be my dad's client soon. Yep, and you called him a broke loser. Canceled on his wedding at the last second and flaked out on giving a speech at the reception. He's very displeased with you, Rihanna. He actually told me I should be glad you did me the favor of ending our friendship for me. Oh no, oh this is bad. Very bad. If my dad loses a major client because of me, and that causes financial damage to his company, then he's going to be very, very, very unhappy with me. Yeah, I'll bet. Not that it's any of my concern anymore. What? You said it yourself, Rihanna. Our friendship is over. Isn't that right? Well, Goodbye then. I've got to finish getting changed so I can go back to the reception. And just for the record, we don't have a seat for you, and even if you show up, the security guards have been given strict orders not to allow you in. So don't waste your time coming down here. This is all your fault, Ashley. Thanks to you, my parents are kicking me out of the house. What am I supposed to do now, huh? How am I supposed to live from now on? What? They kicked you out of the house? Oh, yikes. Wow, your parents must have been even angrier at you than I thought. It's all because you wouldn't let me into your wedding. I texted you over and over again and again, but you never even read my messages. And when I tried to sneak in through the back door, the security guards stopped me and threw me back out. And when I tried to shake them off and force my way in, they called the police on me. Good grief, I had no idea you were making that much mischief. I was so busy talking to people at the reception, I didn't even have time to look at my phone. They took me to the police station and wouldn't let me go until my parents came to pick me up. They told me they were ashamed to be my parents, that I had humiliated our family at a public event, and once we got back to the house, they told me right away that they were kicking me out. All they let me take with me was one single bag of clothes and other essentials. They even confiscated my dad's credit card. Uh-oh, you did all your shopping with your credit card. What are you going to do without them? Thinking back, I don't believe I've ever seen you pay with cash for anything as long as I've known you. I don't even know what a dollar bill looks like. I've never had to use cash for anything before. Whenever I wanted to buy something, all I had to do was whip out my dad's credit card. The card was the only thing I'd ever put in my wallet. Yeah, without it, you're kind of up a creek without a paddle. And now that's gone, huh? Well, what are you gonna do now, Rihanna? Any plans? Plans? You think I have a plan? I've never even had to plan anything before, much less my entire lifestyle. All I have with me is $10,000 in cash that they gave me when they kicked me out. They were very clear that they're never going to give me any financial help ever again. The last thing Dad said to me was, I have no need for a daughter who's willing to destroy my company over her overinflated ego. Then a few minutes later, my mom texted me saying to never come home again and that they were blocking my number. Holy moly, they were really angry, huh? Ashley, I'm begging you, let me stay with you at your place. Seriously? There's no one else I can turn to. I don't have any other friends, you know that. The only people I know are my dad's business associates, and I know for a fact that my dad's gonna make sure they don't help me out at all. So you're my only help, Ashley. Please, you have to help me out. I have to? Why is that? We're not friends anymore. Please, I'm desperate. All I need is a place to stay until my dad forgives me. Well, okay, that'll take a while. So how about just a week? I'll apologize to Justin for what I said. I won't be a burden on you guys at all. You don't even have to put out a mattress for me. I can sleep on the floor. So please, can I stay with you just for a little while?
Even in the incredibly unlikely event that Ashley does forgive you, you'll receive no such mercy from me. I would never allow someone who has spoken as ill of me as you have to live under the same roof as my family.
Huh? Ashley, is that you?
No, it's not. I don't suppose we've met before. This is Justin, Ashley's husband. I've heard a lot about you from Ashley over the years. It seems like the two of you were quite good friends from the time you were both young. That all came to an abrupt end yesterday, though, I'm informed.
Hi, Justin. Look, I am really, really sorry. I can't believe how foolish I was, talking so nastily about someone I'd never met. I said some really, really terrible things about you, and I really regret all of it. Like, you know, calling you a broke loser and stuff.
I understand you were quite displeased with the ring that I designed for Ashley as well. And you also tried your hardest to convince her to refuse my marriage proposal, is that right?
Well, yeah.
I see. Well, I suppose we each have our own tastes and preferences. We don't have to all like the same things, and the same thing goes for people. So you're free to feel however you want about me, my family, and the engagement ring I gave my wife.
Does that mean you forgive me?
Not on your life, really. I can't believe you have the gall to even ask for forgiveness from me after what you did.
But
You hurt Ashley, the woman I love and will spend the rest of my life with, in the worst way possible. You betrayed her trust. Ashley has been looking forward to her wedding day since the day I proposed to her. She was so excited about sharing the celebration of our love with her family and friends. She wanted you to be one of the stars of the show that day. You, her best friend in the world. And what did you do? You canceled on her at the last minute. How could I ever forgive you for that? You crushed the priceless bonds of friendship that the two of you have built up all these years. And for that, I will never allow you to speak to my wife again.
Hey, who do you think you are? You have no right to come between Ashley and me. This doesn't concern you. I'm sure that Ashley will forgive me. We'll go back to the way things were before.
After everything you did, you tried to get her to break up with me.
But she didn't, right?
In spite of your efforts, yes. But to your point, don't count on Ashley forgiving you anytime soon.
What?
It looks like your demand to let you live with us was the straw that broke the camel's back. She was about to block your number when I came along. If I hadn't taken her phone when I did, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
She was going to block me? That's awful. How could she do that to me?
It's only a temporary reprieve. I just wanted to give you one final message before she blocks you. I'll be taking over my father's company soon, and I wanted to make sure you know that I have a firm rule to not mix personal matters with business matters. My company's dealings with your father's company won't be affected by your actions yesterday. I'll be telling the same thing to your father personally as well.
Really? Then if my dad's company is going to be fine, he might let me move back in.
I can't say anything to that point. You'll have to ask your father. I'm giving Ashley back her phone now. I imagine that she'll block you as soon as I do. So wherever your path in life takes you from now on, I hope you'll remember well the lesson you learned today about loyalty and friendship.
Just like Justin said, I blocked Rihanna's number immediately. I went around and told all our mutual friends that we were no longer on speaking terms, as well as the events that led up to that. I doubt any of them will have much to do with her from now on. From what I hear, Rihanna rushed back home right after that and told her dad that since his company was going to be fine, he had no reason to kick her out anymore. She said that she regretted deeply everything that she had done and that she'd never do anything of the sort again. However, her father responded by telling her that she was banned from the premises, and if she ever came back, she'd be arrested for trespassing. After that, the intercom went silent and it was all over. Rihanna was sure that her dad would forgive her, so that was a huge shock. She just collapsed right there on the spot and started crying her eyes out. Now, her parents were generous enough to give her $10,000 to get her new life started, but Rihanna had never had a job before, so working for a living was yet another massive shock to her system. The last I heard, she was working part-time at a supermarket. Long gone are her days of Tiffany's jewelry and Gucci purses. She'll have to get used to blue jeans and t-shirts from now on. Hey, Bristol, what was that last post you made? Oh, so you had a look at that? I knew that a photo of some fancy food like that would really blow up online. I was even able to get 500 likes on it in an hour or so. Huh? There were that many likes on a rude post like that made by you? What? How was that post rude to you? I even asked you before making the post if it'd be okay to use that picture. And considering it was a good one, why wouldn't I be posting it? I'm not actually talking about the photo, but what you wrote about it under the photo. You really went and made me look like an idiot there. Huh? And those hashtags you used are even worse. Hashtag still a single woman and hashtag someone please marry me. You also talked about how you try and sell me to someone if that's what it took. I made that post because I'm worried about you, Katie. You're still in your 30s now and still single, right? I don't want to see my friend's sad appearance any longer. That's why I went and put those hashtags on my post in hopes someone good would come along and find it. I never asked you to do something like that for me, though. What is that attitude from you? I did that thinking I was doing the right thing for you. Sure, you won't ever become the wife of a CEO like me, but at least I was trying to get you with a man so that you could finally have a decent marriage. And I'm saying what you did today was not okay. I already have myself a really good and perfect fiancé that I'm totally happy with. And today I was planning on actually telling you about our plans of getting married soon. What? Is that true? The reason I invited you out for a nice dinner today was in order to do that. But the whole time, all you wanted to talk about was yourself. You would always jump into my sentences and make them about yourself, and then would go on and on and on about how happy you are. Because of that, I was never able to get to what I had to say. If that's what you wanted to do, then you should have said something sooner. I never noticed you had anything to say to me. But if you're really going to get married now, that's great. Now you'll finally be able to graduate from being a sad little lonely loser. So would you please go and delete that post you made right now for me? Sure thing. I'll go edit it saying that you're finally getting married. Now, you tell me about the man you plan on marrying. How much is he making a year? What kind of car is he driving right now? And does he have a place of his own, like a house? Hold on, Bristol. What do you think you're doing asking questions like that about my fiancé when you only just learned I planned on getting married to him? Aren't those some important questions, though? If you want to have a happy marriage, you will need to rely on the financial wealth that your husband has for you, right? Oh, could the man you're with be a business owner like my husband is? No, he's just your average office worker. But he's really happy with the type of work he gets to do. And because of that, he was recently looked at by Midori Commercial Affairs. That really is pretty amazing of him. Midori Commercial Affairs is that company where most people go from university to making $100,000 in their first year of working there without a hitch. If that's where he's going to be going, that must mean he really is a big deal. Wait, is it really that amazing of a company? I knew that it was a very famous company and all. You really have a good husband in there, don't you? That must mean that his family's pretty amazing as well then, right? Where is his family living right now? His parents have had a lot of money and properties as well, right? Actually, he doesn't have a father right now. Sounds like from a young age, his parents had divorced and he was left with his mother. What? So he only had a mom growing up? But his mother is a very interesting person. She's a very powerful woman, and to me, she's not only very kind, but the perfect woman. I think her and I will be able to get along really well. Katie! You need to end your plans of marrying that man right now, I think. The worst man you could marry is one that comes from a moneyless and fatherless family like that. What? From what you've told me, he seems to have plans of working at a very good company next and making some decent money there. But if he never had a good enough upbringing, then your future is sure to become rough for you. So I'm recommending you leave that man right now. Don't talk about his upbringing like that. And would you stop calling his mother moneyless just because her husband left her a long time ago? Uh-huh. What kind of an attitude is that now? I'm only being kind by worrying about you like this. I know that a mother-in-law like her will do nothing but cause you pain and frustration as you guys get older. I'm happy to hear that you're worried for me, but you're not helping right now. I happen to really love my fiancé, and I also happen to really respect his mother. So there's no thought in my mind of leaving this marriage we have planned. Is that right? I'm just trying to warn you is all, yet the fact that you're still going to go down that road to sadness makes you a certified idiot. So you're really against me getting married to him now? I wanted to invite you out to my wedding since you're a good friend of mine, and I was planning to have you give a speech for me and everything, but I'm not going to ask that of you anymore. What? Giving one of those speeches would be me standing out in front of everyone to talk about you, right? If that's what you wanted from me, then I'm in. I will definitely be coming to your wedding now. If I can have someone getting a ton of photos of me up on stage giving a speech, that will rocket me to fame on Instagram, won't it? What? I never said I was against you getting married to that man. I just felt bad for you as your friend for wanting to get married to a moneyless man like him. But if you're still wanting to marry him, go ahead and do what you want. Now that means you can still leave that speech you planned on having me do up to me. And make sure there's a really good photographer there during your wedding who will take amazing pictures of me, please.
I made sure to send out all the invites for you. That means we should be pretty much complete with all the preparations for the wedding, right? All we have left to do is make that guest list and set up the chairs and whatnot for all of them.
That seems about right. I just have to finish deciding which dress I'd like to wear and what food we should all have for our dinner there.
By the way, how did things go with finding someone to give a speech for you? I feel you should make up a special invitation just for them if they're going to be the one you choose to rely on, right?
I already have that figured out. I already asked a longtime friend of mine to do it for me. But just in case, I was thinking of asking one other person to act as a sort of a backup, just in case.
What? What do you mean by just in case? If your one friend is already saying they'll do it, then there shouldn't be any issues, right?
When I first asked her to give the speech, she was really into it. But I don't think what she's going to have to say about me is going to be any good. And recently online, she's been saying things like, "I don't want to do this after all," and "This is a pain in my butt."
She's saying things like that online?
That woman happens to have a lot of secret accounts online, and perhaps she thought I'd forgotten about them all and was posting those things. But even if she's saying things like that about it, I can't just go asking her not to do it for me anymore.
So she doesn't expect that her good friend is looking at what she's posting on that other account? Yet you still don't want to tell her not to bother now?
That's right. That's why, just in case, I'm going to ask one other person to prepare a speech for the wedding. I would hate to have to ask someone last minute to get up in front of everyone without anything prepared for me.
I think that's a good idea then. I'd hate to put someone else in a nerve-wracking position like that. If you don't trust your one good friend enough, I think it's the right play having someone else ready to give that speech. I just really hope that she gets a grip since she's a friend of yours from when you were both young and really does give an amazing speech.
I hope so too, and that hopefully means that things will be okay. By the way, have you figured out who you want to give your speech, Andy?
I had a friend say that they'd been wanting to give the speech before I even asked anyone. He's a really good friend of mine from university, and the moment I went and told everyone I'd be getting married, he replied wanting to give the speech for me.
That's so awesome. I'm happy to hear that you're still talking with a lot of your friends from then. And if I'm getting this right, I think I know the guy you're talking about. I haven't had a chance to meet him at all, so I'm really looking forward to seeing him at the wedding.
He's a really amazing guy, so I can't wait for you to see him. Let's all have a really good time at our wedding.
I'm sorry, Katie. I'm not going to be able to go to your wedding today after all. So could you please cancel that speech I was supposed to give? What? What's happened that's causing you to have to not show up now? Did you run into some issues on your way out here this morning? Not at all. I just don't want to go now, so I'm not going. I can't be seen at the wedding of some moneyless man. So I wanted to make sure to tell you I wouldn't be coming as soon as possible. What? That's a lie, right? You're just joking about not coming to your best friend's wedding with a reason like that, right? I would never joke about something like this. I won't be coming today, and I will most certainly not be giving that speech today now. Why would you wait until now to tell me this? I get that it was a pain in your butt to have to give a speech and all, but what makes you think you can cancel with only hours left before my wedding? Wow, Jesus. Did you have a look at one of my secret accounts or something? But you couldn't have seen everything I was saying online, right? Everything? I was really wanting to give your speech when you first said something about it, but after that I realized it really was a pain for me. And when thinking about how your husband comes from a mom with no money at all, that really helped seal the deal. I mean, look at me. I married a CEO and am now his wife, right? Which means that for the sake of my husband's image, I have to be more careful of who I'm hanging out with. What? Having said that, you understand what this means, right? If I were to go to the wedding of some moneyless lowlifes, I'd be tripping up my husband. Which is why I won't be getting to your wedding now, and that speech will have to be canceled. That's really mean of you, Bristol. How dare you cancel on the day of my wedding, and how dare you talk about your best friend like that? Oh, one other thing. Since I have you right now, I'm thinking about ending this friendship between you and I. I don't need a good friend who's on the path to becoming a lowlife herself. From today, you are no longer my friend anymore. That's right. You and I are no longer friends anymore. Your fault for getting married to a moneyless man like that. Now, you go and take me off the list, please. And forget about that promise I made to you about the speech. As the wife of a CEO, I can't be going to the wedding of the poor. Well, your husband, the CEO, is here. What? But you're not going to be coming now, right? I'll have to go and let him know that his wife will no longer be here today to give her speech with him. He told me that if you weren't going to come, he'd be willing to give a speech for me as well. So I need to go chat with him right now. Bye-bye. Huh? You hold it right there. What do you mean my husband is at your wedding right now? Why the hell would my husband be going to the wedding of a man from a fatherless, poor household? I only learned about this a little bit ago. Your husband and mine both went to the same university together. And not just that, but your husband was a year later than mine, yet they still became really good friends with one another. Are you kidding me? Your husband happens to run a company, right? And it's not just him, but his parents as well who run companies, right? That's right. Both of his parents have been running financing companies and have a ton of money themselves. And I became the wife of such a wealthy family. So why would my husband be willing to make friends with some moneyless man like your husband? Since the both of his parents had companies to manage, your husband never really had time to spend with them, right? I hear that your husband never even had a bite of any of the food that his mother could supposedly cook. Anyway, he went to university with my husband, and that's where they both became really good friends. And sometimes when they'd finish class, he'd go over to my husband's mother's place to stay the night. And at that time, he was able to enjoy all of the cooking that his mother would make. Then that led to them becoming even closer to one another, like they were both brothers or something. They're that close to one another? Even his mother likes to call him her second son, and your husband likes to call her his mother at times. That's the level those three are on. What? I always heard stories from my husband about how he had this really amazing friend from back in university. But then he'd explain to me that he'd became a very busy man, and that's why he was never able to go out and see him very often anymore. Today was the first time I've ever been able to see him, and my husband's first time seeing him for some time. But I never once knew that he was going to be your husband, of all people. Well, now that you mention it, he was saying that today he'd be going out to his friend's wedding, but I never thought that friend would be your husband. I never thought he was good friends with a poor loser who never had a father. He's just as shocked as we are. We never thought that there'd be such a connection between the three of us. But after having all been able to talk about it now, we can see just how crazy of a coincidence this has been. No way. And while we've been talking, you still had not arrived, and we joked for a second about how you might say you weren't coming last minute. We also joked with your husband about how if you didn't show up, he'd be able to give the speech for both my husband and I. I just never thought these jokes would become a reality, and I'd have to go ask your husband for such a thing. I can come out there right now. I'll even give that speech for you, so don't tell my husband anything. Don't take away that seat you have for me. Oh, don't force yourself to be here. Didn't you just tell me that you wouldn't come today so that you wouldn't trip up your husband any? I think as his wife, you being able to do such a selfless thing for you makes you a wonderful wife. So please don't worry about being here today. I promise to tell your husband what a thoughtful reason you had for not being here today. No! Stop that! I am asking you to please not say anything to him. The wedding's going to start pretty soon here. See ya, Bristol. Why would you do this to me? After that wedding, you had my husband come home and he was furious with me. He came at me saying that I'd really gone and done it by embarrassing his best friend like that. If this ends up getting me divorced, I don't know what I'm going to do about you. My husband was never embarrassed by anything you did. Your husband gave such beautiful speeches for the both of us yesterday, and that left both my husband and myself very pleased. How could I have known they were great friends since university? I tried to tell him that, yet my husband didn't listen to a thing I told him. I am asking you to please have a word with him about how I'll apologize. No way. Why would I go and do that for someone who isn't even my friend? Huh? Yesterday you asked me that we stop being friends, right? If you were my friend, I think I'd be okay with trying to help calm down your husband and all. But since we're not friends anymore, your life has nothing to do with me. Then you let me talk with your husband right now. If your husband starts to talk with mine, then he'll have to listen to him, right? So I want to talk with him right now and have him tell my husband now not to leave me. Then my husband will have to listen to his good friend and leave me be.
That guy would never listen to such a stupid thing from me. Sure, I may be a good friend of his, but he's not some idiot.
What?
Hello, and thanks for having been a friend to my wife. I'm her husband, Andy.
I'm sorry for not showing up yesterday, but I didn't do it on purpose. I just had a lot of things mixed up was all.
No need to give me such poor excuses. I heard from my wife that you loved calling me poor due to the fact that my mom and dad got divorced and I never saw him again.
No, wait, that was,
Now I'll go see what your husband has to say about this. And after he tells me how he feels, I'll let him know to get rid of you as soon as possible.
What?
The thing is, to me, your husband is a very special kind of friend. I would really like to see him happy, and if you're the one thing keeping him from being happy, then I need you to go. I don't find you the right fit for being my buddy's wife.
Why are you saying something like that? Until yesterday, he and I were really close to one another, and we were told by everyone that he and I were always meant to be.
You're meant to be with someone you always lied to? Also, he's been aware of your lies for a long time now, Bristol.
What are these lies you're talking about?
He's talking to me about them all the time, one being that you always bragged about being a good cook, and after getting married he wanted you to cook for him all the time. However, recently it seems he realized that you're not the great cook you always say you are after all. You happen to buy all the things you say you cook from a restaurant down the road.
What?
He was going on about you all last night at the after party. He was so fed up with you that he looked like a crazed man saying all the things he'd want to do to you now. He told us all that it was one thing being lied to by his wife about the things she'd done and that he could put up with it all for a while. But after you'd gone and said such terrible things about my wife and I and stood up our wedding, he'd had enough.
What am I going to do? I didn't think he'd find out about the restaurant's food.
I know very well how much my man loves to have good food. He always loved what my mom would cook for him, and that left him wanting a wife who could cook just as well. And when I heard for the first time that he'd married someone who could cook so well for him, I was left feeling thankful for that. Which is why now, after learning about your lies, I ask that you leave him. I don't want a woman like you around my friend anymore.
No way I'm leaving him. I would never give up my life with a man of so much money now of all times. You listen here. You're still the poor one here, so don't do anything to get in the way of me and my money. Don't act like you're better than me just because he's your best friend. You're nothing more than a fatherless, poor sucker.
You're right. I never grew up with a father. But ever since I can remember, my mom's been running her own business. And as for me, while working as an office man, I've run a store of my own, so you don't have any right calling my mom or me poor.
What? Is that true?
I'm making around the same amount your husband is right now, and that's another reason why he and I are so close to one another. We both like to talk about how we run our businesses and what we can both do to improve them. It's actually quite a fun time talking with him about all these things.
You're lying. Making that much money even though you never had a dad?
Now, I'm gonna have a word with him for you, so don't get in the way of this outcome, please. Your status never once went up just because you got married to a CEO, like you believe. All you are is a wife to him. That doesn't make you anyone special. And to most CEOs, that just makes you their pet. So don't think you have the right to judge anyone like you're better than them.
Shut up! I'm not going to be divorced by him.
I wonder about that. What you were saying is that because I'm his best friend, he'll have to listen to what I say, right? So when I go and tell him to divorce you, he should be able to listen to that and do as I've said. I want you to be ready for this divorce from him now, because all you are to him is some basic woman he could find again easily after you're gone. Now don't you ever talk to my wife again, myself again, or to my best friend ever again.
After that, Bristol and her husband really did end up getting a divorce that she'd been so desperately trying to avoid. And thankfully for me, I made sure to block her after Andy gave me back my phone. So I never had to hear anything else directly from her. For a bit there, her husband had been on the fence about really telling her to leave him, but after Andy went and told him about how not only he wanted her gone, but so did his mother, and so did a lot of their other friends, he made that choice to get the divorce. A little while after that had gone down, he started to pay my mother-in-law $1,000 a month to cook him some of her best meals a few times a month. As for Bristol and what happened with her after the divorce, she stopped posting about her life on her main account, and on her secret accounts, she'd say things like, "I can't do this anymore and my life is over, so please could someone love me?" Such sad and depressing posts like that would go on for weeks and months. And soon those all stopped as well, as not a single person actually cared about what happened to her, and she was left with no likes or replies to any of her posts. I'm not sure what's happened to her since she stopped posting anything on any of her accounts, but the last time I went and had one final look, every single one of the accounts had been erased, and that was the last bit of Bristol gone from existence.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.